Hello, and welcome to my new office. This was not what I was expecting for the end of 2025 and the start of 2026, but here we are. Sometimes beautiful opportunities fall into your lap, and even though it's scary and change is hard, you gotta say yes. And I am fortunate enough to be able to be moving into this little beautiful light-filled space to make. My living room will now be my living room, and that actually doesn't make any sense to me. And honestly, as much as I want to not make it my living room, I am very comfortable there. And this is my uncomfortable move of 2026. Uncomfortable in the sense that I am putting myself out there, trying something new, joining forces with a dear friend, and just taking a leap. So welcome to this vlog. I am happy to be here. Obviously, as you can tell, there's nothing in here yet, but I am going to bring in my glazing things because I need to glaze for my final market of the year. And I wanted to do that here instead of at home. So that way when my market is done, everything can just come here and I can enjoy the rest of the year at home without my work. So thank you for being here. This is a very exciting journey that I, don't know what's coming, but I'm hoping that by being scared and doing it anyway, something good will come of that. So let's move some stuff in. Okay, so I have my long lens on this, so it's not the best to actually get the accurate space view. So I got some on my phone, but I'm gonna measure and see how big this room actually is so that I can figure out how to set it up. To go celebrate some friends getting engaged, and this is how I'm leaving it. Going to come back tomorrow and glaze all of it. Hello, good morning. I am just getting started. Today is glazing day. My market, last one of the year, is on Sunday, and I need to load the kiln on Wednesday, have it fire on Thursday, sand and photograph, and get everything ready on Friday, pack everything up on Saturday, market on Sunday. A little crazy, but we're doing it, and I am hopefully going to be able to glaze all of these things by then. I have my game plan of what everybody is getting, so now it's just a matter of focusing and knocking it out. So that is today. Let's just get Hello, happy Wednesday. Thankfully I got someone to take my shift today so that I could load the kiln, and that is what I did this morning. I was able to finish painting everything last night, which was stressful and very rushed and chaotic, but it's all in the kiln. It's gonna go off tomorrow morning, and I'm gonna go unload everything on Friday. And honestly, probably just stay at my parents' house and sand and get everything done there. And then that way, when I bring them home on Saturday, they're ready to go. So there's that to look forward to. It's almost time. I do have to be at this market at 7:30 a.m. That's my load-in time. It doesn't start till 10:30. So that's a doozy because it goes till 5:30. A very long day, and I truly cannot wait for all of this to be done. But I also just can't wait to be set up there and just feel the sense of relief that, I'm here, what I have is what I have, and this will go however it wants to go. I think that I just have a hard time toting around the same things to each market. I really like everyone to feel like an exhibit almost. I think my husband kind of put it that way this morning, and it made sense to me. And that's why it's so, I think, rushed, or I feel crammed or whatever, because I just really want it to be an experience, not only for other people, but for myself, because I don't always see my work all together. And I think that is a part of it. I want it to feel like a full collection of things that resonate with me, whether it be the shape, the color, the design, the use, yeah, there's just so many elements to this process that I love, and I just want to see it all together, which is why I have been crazy, on the verge of breakdown, panic attack, not fun, just overwhelmed. And it's so hard because it's all good things. And I'm so grateful for how I and my work have been received by my in-person community, the online community. It just is hard. And it almost makes it harder when everyone is so nice and all the things that I'm getting asked to do or be a part of are like beautiful things that I think are wonderful, but I literally am just one girl and I have to be okay with just being one girl and not being able to say yes to things no matter how fun it sounds. And by being a little more picky and choosy about it, I can bring my whole self into it and not have to feel distracted, which is why I'm so excited about this market because I am giving it my all and it is what I have chosen to say yes to. So nothing else can get a yes from me right now. And I think that's a good thing, especially for just how I work. It's really hard for me to split my brain. And I feel like my brain has just been split because of all of the logistics of running a small business and also like having a life and also the holiday times and also like moving my workspace somewhere else. And yeah, there's so many things going on all at once. And it's hard to really capture that on camera because I don't want to have my camera out all the time because I also just want to live my life. So, all of that to say, I have had a very hard few weeks, and that is okay. It is what it is. And I have also had a really great last few weeks, and I'm just trying to be both and be fine with being both, being fine with being really happy and also really exhausted and overwhelmed and stressed and tired. Um, these things are just always circulating, and that's okay. And that's life. And I just feel very human right now, which is wonderful. So today I was able to spray paint all of the things that I want to move over, some pieces that I found at an estate sale, a shelf that I've just had in my parents' garage to use, but would be great. And I went to Home Depot and figured out what I want to do for my table. So I'm probably going to go run downstairs to the table I have in our storage unit and measure it out so that I can kind of map out the table and let that be my little nerdy design task for the evening and call it a day. It is so much fun running your own business, and it is literally the worst time ever. And I guess I love that because that's why I'm here. So, cheers to that. I'll see you when I unload the kiln on Friday to so many good pieces that I love so much. And I'm so excited to sell and give a little joy to other people. Have this cart lying around, so that's gonna come with me. I have one similar at the studio already. And then I got these little bins at Home Depot. They're, I don't know, 6 quarts. They're the perfect size for tiny little trinkets and things, which I have a lot of. And I just really want my little room to be very organized and everything have a place and be visible, but also tucked away. And so I think things like that and the cart and the way I want my table to be designed will be wonderful. So that was a fun win too. Okay, see you tomorrow. Hello, back home. Happy Friday. My brain is not on my side today, so I just took a nice little walk and now I need to post on Instagram to let everybody know this is my last chance for the year to shop in person and that I need to sand everything. I'm meeting a friend around 2. It's almost 12, so I think I'm going to do Instagram and then sand as much as I can before I have to leave. And then come back and input everything into Square, double check that everything's fine. Overall, a pretty good count unload. There were a couple tragic fails, but for the most part, everything's fine. I think I just got to my parents' house and saw some of the stuff I had spray painted yesterday. I just like messed up the most gorgeous card table that I found and was very excited about. And that just kind of set me in a mood. And so now I'm trying to undo that. And then, yeah, I came home and messed something else up. So I just like am not having it today. So I'm gonna control what I can and accomplish as honestly the minimum, which is just post to Instagram and sand these things. So off to my computer we go. I took some pictures at the Kiln and I'm just gonna use that and call it a day because yeah, I don't have much to give and I really don't want to give it all to an Instagram post. So there's that. I'm so excited and I'm so ready to be done. A lot of people post on Instagram literally every day. That took me a minute. My home is in disarray, but I at least have all my bins ready to go for the market. And did I start sanding? Absolutely not. And now I must leave. But that will be here when I return and how I will spend the rest of the afternoon. It's so hard when so many good things are happening, but my chest feels tight because so many things are happening and I'm just one girl. But deep breaths and breaks with friends definitely help. So off to do that. I go. Good evening. The market is tomorrow. I have everything packed up. I spontaneously also completely rearranged my office in the meantime or while I was packing. Don't know why, but I did, and I'm glad I did. But I made mystery bags, got all the bins packed, and now we just need to load the car and then be ready to go so that I can be there at 7:30 tomorrow. So it's going to be a really long day, but I'm very excited. And I'm just glad that it's finally here. And whatever happens, happens now at this point. See you tomorrow. Mm. Hello, good morning. It is the day after my final event of the year, and am I feeling it? Yes. It was such a beautiful weather, uh, a crazy turnout. The location that my booth ended up being in was wonderful. There were so many good things. And honestly, the only bad thing was during setup when the sprinklers were going off and I didn't know what to do because it took up half of my area and really hard to set up when everything is just wet. But once that was over with and I survived the overwhelm of that and didn't melt down, it was a beautiful day. I cannot believe the amount of people that came. I wonder if they had a tally on it because it honestly just felt like people were getting dropped off in bus loads. It was insane. Definitely my best market that I've ever done. Definitely one that I would do again. And definitely one that the community is a fan of because it's been probably 15 years that it's been happening, maybe even more than that. So the people know, they show up and they want to shop all of their holiday presents right then and there. And it was just really cool to be a part of such a beautifully curated selection of makers. And uh, yeah, it was just really good energy. And I think that was the best ending to my little three market tour that I did this season. It felt like everything was kind of building up to that. I'm so glad that I made a bunch more stuff because it kept my booth looking full and happy for most of the event. And yeah, as I've said in all of my other markets, people are really nice and are very willing to share their thoughts on how my work makes them feel. And I feel very lucky that that is what happens, or that my pieces evoke that so much that they have to share it. And so I just got a lot of lovely feedback. Even people returning to buy something else. I had one guy who he broke his girlfriend's mug, and it's one of my big hugs that I always make, and so I had some more of them. And so he was just sharing this whole story, and then they came up, and I don't know, it was just little things like that, engaging in that way, even though it can be really exhausting and uh it just take a lot from me. It's really cool to see how making a silly thing, putting a smiley face for a mouthpiece on this mug could change everything and make people feel something very lovely, special, sweet, and just whimsical. And I had a lot of people just comment on my name and just the fact that, yeah, we shouldn't prioritize perfection. And that's definitely not what's happening here at It's Wonky HQ. But I think I forget how much of overcoming perfection that this is for me. I do feel like I don't come off as a perfectionist, but I can be. Uh, and it just shows up in different ways. And It's Wonky really is just a release of that for me, and just letting things be and not trying to force or put something into a box that it doesn't need to be in. And I love that. And I feel like, yeah, I'm just really pleased with what I was able to accomplish this year. Kind of crazy that it's over, and that I'm done. I don't know what that means. And especially since I don't know, next year I don't have any hard plans, which is weird. As I've said before, I normally have a vision, a goal, a hope, and so it will be year 5 of doing this, and I feel like that's a big milestone and also a big year of shift and change. Uh yeah, I just see a lot of things coming to life that I've either dreamt of, thought about, maybe hoped for one day. And even though I don't tangibly have I don't know, realities of that right now. I just see it being a really fruitful year and kind of going into it open-handed and seeing what happens, letting the opportunities arise and leaving space to accept what lights me up. And that feels really good. Kind of scary, really good. I know I want to keep doing this. I know I'm going to take a break. I am going to update my online store with everything that I have left over because I know there were a handful of people asking since not everybody lives where I live, so that's fine. I figure I have a good bunch left. I'm going to set aside some for the stores that I sell in, and then the rest I will put on the internet. So, gonna work on that today and also tidying up my living room, finishing up organizing my new little setup here, and then I'm gonna focus on getting my wheel and all of my like pottery making stuff over to my little studio space, which, yeah, I just am in awe with how the year is ending. Um, as we all know, very hard one. And I think I just want to be here now and enjoy what's happening and soak up the rest of this year, whatever it's going to look like. I know it'll be busy still because that's just the holidays and I just want to like enjoy it. So with that, I'm going to get to unloading. I didn't even say how really the market went. Well, it was my best market ever. But before I get to unloading, I will share my little stats of the whole thing because that's always fun, right? The reality of like doing markets, as I've said before, is whatever you make, you kind of have to calculate how much time it actually took you to make all of those things. And then you can see how much you actually made instead of just like having a big number of money and being like, cool, I made that. But then when you like think about it, it's like, oh, I would need to like keep doing that every week. But this one was definitely the best. And I, yeah, am just thrilled with how much I sold. Okay, I think I sold, please hold. Okay. So I made like just under 2 grand, which is insane. And actually, I think I had a couple like not in square sales. So I think I did make 2 grand, which is insane. And I've never done that before. Will I ever do it again? Maybe. I don't know. I was not expecting that. So that's really cool. Really glad that I put in the work to make my booth look how I wanted it to and have the variety that I wanted it to. And yeah, I feel very accomplished with that and also insanely surprised. My biggest things were my hug cups, and I put a bin of like little plates and like coasters and things this size and a little bit bigger for one for $12 and then one with like small dishes for $8. And those were a hit. A lot of people would like grab a, I don't know, a cup or something and then also like tack on one of those. And I think they just loved shuffling through them. I had done that in the past, but I just like upped the quantity of them this time, and so it felt more of like a little treasure hunt experience. And I think that really made a difference. My mystery bags, I sold all but one. I think I made 8 of them, which I think is pretty cool. I hope everyone enjoys what they actually got in it. That was also a nice surprise. And then I think next after that were my to-go tumblers. And then everything else was just a handful of each. I think I sold Oh, yeah, I sold 63 items. That's a lot of items. But when you think about the like amount of little dishes and stuff like that that I sold, that was honestly probably at least 20. It says 29, but I think I might have had a couple other things that I accidentally put in that category. So around 20 of those were just the little dishes and small plates that I had. And then it was like under 10 of everything else. So yeah, it was a pretty good variety. I sold one mug, 2 big hugs, a couple of long pads, 2 little mugs, 2 matcha sets, 4 of just my like tumblers, 4 of my to-go tumblers, and then 9 of my like little hugs, which included the like patchwork ones, the green ones, the blue ones, all of those. So a good variety of things. And I, with that, feel great at ending the year. Like I said, I'm going to update my online store. So get on my newsletter if you're not already. I mean, when this goes up, I think I will have already sent the email and it will already be out in the world. So go shop if there's stuff. It obviously won't get there in time for Christmas, but it should be there before the year ends. So I love late Christmas presents. I don't know about you. Yeah, thank you. I'm almost at 4,000 subscribers, which is crazy. So maybe in the new year, if I hit that, I will do like a giveaway. But thank you for watching. I hope this was helpful in big ways or small ways. I don't really know when I'm filming, what I'm filming. I kind of just turned my camera on, but I do think that yeah, it just helps whether you want to do this or not. I don't know. The reality of making is that it is a lot of hard work and that's why it costs so much. And once again, it was nice to be at a market where no one was really commenting on that, at least out loud. And I even had a friend be like, I'm really glad you raised your prices. And I was like, it's really hard, but I spent a lot of time making this stuff and I'm just trying to pay my bills and make a living doing something fun. And I think that, yeah, if you want it and can afford it, please have at it. And if you can't, I totally understand because I couldn't afford my stuff. So that's a hard place to sit, but I am proud of myself for acknowledging that and like trying to understand the reality of it more and not just be like, but I want everyone to have my stuff. It's just like, you don't have, everyone's not your friend, and that's fine. And so everyone's not my customer, and that is also fine. So thank you for tuning into this and yeah, I don't know, watching my videos and enjoying them, I hope, I guess. If you keep watching them, I guess you do. Yeah, this is something that's just super fun for me and kind of a break from the physical making, and I enjoy it. And with that, I bid you adieu. I will see you in 2026. I hope the rest of your year is wonderful. Happy everything to you and yours, and goodbye. Oh, and cheers to all good things in the new year and 2025 being over.